Hello, gamers, and welcome to Xbot and Pony. My name is Phil.
My name is Nick.
And back in my day, Nick, games were proper games. They weren't glorified like gambling machines and trying to rip my money out. I hate these new modern games. Grumble, 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 grumble. What are we talking about?
We're yelling at the cloud.
I like that. Have you ever seen that actual meme where it's like Oldman yells at Cloud?
Yes.
It's got Gary Oldman shouting at Cloud from Final Fantasy.
Yes.
I love it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
good.
Stupid.
So stupid.
It's so good.
So we're old man moaning today about games as a service, or live services as some people like to call them. And they are clearly more popular than ever. People absolutely love them. They make literal billions every year for their developers, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. And you and I hate them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I play one. How many do you play?
So recently, I have to admit that I have tried out Fall Guys, and that is really fun. It's just pure fun. And even my wife's been getting into it and loving it. But that's probably the only one over the last couple of years. Like, every time I've looked at something, I'm instantly switched off, not interested. And I think for me, it's the microtransactions and the loot boxes that really stand out. Yeah. I feel like I'm being pestered. I'm being manipulated to try and spend my money as much as possible. And
battle passes. They make a lot of money off the battle passes, which, basically it's just DLC. It's constant DLC. So, and you need it. If you don't get it, then there's no point in playing.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. But I think if it's maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to figure this out, but I think what's likely is that if it's a game that's specifically built as an online service, I don't generally have a problem with it. But it's games that are traditionally maybe single player games that have been then warped into these games as a service as a way of making extra money. So stuff that jumps out from the last sort of 12 months to 18 months. Fallout 76 is probably the big one, where they took this single player experience and tried to force it into this game as a service. And it just didn't work. Metal Gear Survive, like it's all about stealth. It's single player stealth. And the story that Kojima wrote, like, it's not about online gameplay. So like stuff like that really irritates me. I don't like it.
I just don't like it.
I just don't like it. Makes me unhappy.
So I played Fortnite, maybe 3 games of Fortnite. Yeah, I got over it pretty quick. I don't play a lot of online. I used to play a lot of COD with guys when I worked at JB Hi-Fi, friends, mates. I very rarely played against strangers, on occasion, but very rarely. I think to get an achievement on Perfect Dark on my 360, I hooked up with a few people online because it was a co-op achievement. It was a very, very hard level. You couldn't do it by yourself or with 2 controllers. You needed somebody to protect you while you're invisible. So, headset on, got online, and achieved that and got that achievement. And besides that, online gaming for me isn't. I don't do it. I don't really do it.
What puts you off? Because you and I were definitely, I would say, traditional multiplayer fans. Right? We like that split screen, the Golden Eyes, your Mario Karts, all that sort of stuff. Perfect Dark. But for some reason, online gaming seems to sort of irritate both of us. Is there anything in particular?
There's going to be a few reasons. One being an old man. So that's the first reason. I'm an old man. So that's just it. I'm just don't change, be the same. I love playing multiplayer games on the couch next to my friend, whether we're playing together or against each other. It's competitive. You can throw insults. When you're younger, it was pizza and Coke. Now it's pizza and beers. Nothing changes. You can punch your mate in the arm, yell insults, blah, blah, blah. But it was good fun, and it was a social thing. It's not this anti-social thing. When I started playing games online with my mates, again, teamwork, fun. You're chatting, you're having a lot of fun. But then obviously work, commitments, family, relationships, gym, all that kind of stuff comes into it. And it's hard to time to do it. I know my younger brothers, they're constantly online. They're constantly online. My brother's constantly streaming Warzone. It's just Warzone. It's just constant Warzone. And he is really goddamn good. But that's the problem. I don't have that time to become that good. I don't have that time to dedicate every single little weapon and every single little nook and cranny like I used to when I was 15. And these guys, that they don't play many games. They maybe play 3 games a year.
Yep,
They'll play FIFA,
one.
they'll play their Call of Duty, and they might pick one other game they play solo single player, but they invest hours upon hours upon hours upon hours into these games to become good at them. And it's not fun when you're not good at it and you're just dying all the time.
Yeah.
So that's another reason. And then not wanting to play against strangers. I don't need to hear mum insults constantly. It's probably dad insults, or maybe even cat insults, or insulting my fridge these days. Who knows? I mean, I haven't been online long enough to see what the new insults are. But
you'll be called a Karen now. That's what you'll be called.
Yeah, it'd be a Karen. Yeah, Karen. They probably don't even insult you. They probably know how to send memes through to your private messages on Xbox.
There you go.
Meme insults, or track you down on social media and just start sending you memes or posting on your Facebook wall. That's me personally. I love playing next to someone, seeing their reaction, jumping up and laughing at them, insulting them. I don't like doing it through a headset, and I don't like doing it with strangers, and I don't have the time to really. I mean, if you look at the list here, most of them are shooters, and that's a good thing. I love shooters, but I don't have the time to dedicate into these shooters to be good enough, to get my skill level high enough to be competitive.
I think I'm kind of with you. I'm not anti-online games, just so we're clear, and I think you and I will say the same.
I don't want to go away.
I've got some friends in the UK where basically that's the only way that we can socialize, right?
Yep.
But we'll play a game online where it's just us.
Yes.
We don't really like to play with strangers. So it's a good way for us to socialize. I get that that's how most people play, right? I totally get that. But I think what's bothering me about gases at the moment is it's games that when I see them announced, my initial reaction is, ooh, I want to play that. And then it's revealed that it's a games as service. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, not really.
So, Avengers, I love the Marvel movies. Like, I absolutely love them. And I like playing the Iron Man and VR game and the Spider-Man game that they released recently, and when there was an Avengers game, I thought, great. And then it turns out that it's a gas. And it instantly gone.
Yep.
Not interested. Not buying it. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, right? Is the big one that's just been announced.
Yeah, 2022.
That should have been exciting. That should have been like, I want in on that day one, no question. Give me the special edition even. But no, it's a gas. Instantly, okay, well, you don't get money.
They did reveal that you can play that solo. But if this is another Beyond Good and Evil, you can play this solo, but it's better if you play with friends. But
that's another one, isn't it?
We've seen Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it looked amazing, but
the moment they said it was an online-only gas game, I was like, oh, really?
You have to play with friends, and what if you're a loser like me and I don't have any friends? A lot of people don't. And if it's a co-op game, you can't find a stranger because they're just going to screw around and waste your time. You're not going to always find somebody decent online. And if Suicide Squad's, really aimed at 3 or 4 player online co-op, then no. I'm just it takes away from even I know it's not a gas game, but even the RPG elements in the new Batman spin-off. It's just, why is that going to be a bit like a Destiny thing where you just upgrade and the more powerful you get, you just keep killing the same enemies over and over again? Like, why change something that works so well into another genre? You're right, because they can pay skins and upgrade abilities and more DLC, whereas all you can do with DLC on a Batman game is more game, really, or more mini games. You actually have to put effort into it, don't you? If you want to get that DLC money, you need to put effort in. Whereas, nobody's really going to pay a lot of money for skins in a proper story-driven Suicide Squad game. Some people might, but most people won't. They'll finish the story and then they put it away and they don't go back to it. But if it's online, they're just going to keep playing it for years and years and years.
Well, does that raise the question that maybe next gen isn't going to be for you and me? Because,
Possibly.
Microsoft is certainly heading in that direction. Halo is going to be a gas. Forza is going to be a gas.
Yes.
There's no way Sony's not going to jump on that bandwagon at some point.
Somewhere. Well, maybe the new Last of Us online multiplayer game. Maybe that spin-off. I mean, we know that's coming. That's not even a secret, really. So I mean, they split that game up into multi and single, and I think that's fine. I don't like it when they split games up, but I think with that's fine because it's very much a story-driven single-player experience anyway. Let's have the multiplayer separate. Not too many people asking for the multiplayer anyway, but it could be the first Sony gas game. I mean,
well, actually, sorry, it's just popped into my mind. Think about it. What was the very first game announced at that Sony reveal event?
GTA 5 Online.
GTA 5.
And it's timed exclusive to Sony, so there you go. They do have their first one.
There you go. Like straight away, that's what they're opening. Next gen's going to be about. You can carry on with GTA 5.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing. And old man complaints here. I just don't like the direction that gaming is going. I really don't. And it depresses me because this is meant to be something that's fun, and I suppose those people who enjoy it are going to argue that it is fun. That is what they want to do, and they're going to argue, it is really sociable. I play with my friends, and I get all of that. But it's just not what I want, and that's what it boils down to. It's not the thing that I like.
Yeah. The only one I've played is Sea of Thieves, and it doesn't actually force you to pay for the upgrades. Everything's free. Could possibly be because the game wasn't that great when they first launched it, so they said, well, hang on, let's just do everything free to get more people in. Yes, there's skins you can buy and other things you can buy, but they're not integral to the game. You do not have to. I've played it and I've never spent a cent on it. It's in Game Pass, never spent $1, and I get every single update for free. Whereas I don't know if any other gas game does that. Minecraft doesn't. They make billions on the transactions for Minecraft. It was one of the first. So upcoming Halo Infinite, it's definitely pretty much confirmed the multiplayer side anyway is going to be games as a service. It's scary because if it's just going to be battle pass, then it's not a free-to-play game. You're constantly paying money to get the new weapons, new upgrades. And Destiny 2 fans are now really upset because the new update comes out soon. And you're losing so much you got from the previous update. So if you're playing this game and you're loving all these new weapons and upgrades, and they come out and say half of those are going away, do you really want to continue playing that game when half of your favorite... It's content, really. It's content in that game, and half of that's being removed.
You're paying to lease the content.
Yeah. So you're not keeping the content you've already paid for this. So why is it getting replaced? I understand you need to evolve and it needs to become new so you can attract more players and it's not boring and doesn't get stale, but there's got to be a limit there with, how much do you delete? Because as we've seen Guitar Hero, we've seen all these things that took off, and gas could just plummet if they keep getting too
oversaturate.
And that they will. They'll oversaturate the market. They'll get greedy, and that'll happen. People will just go, you know what? I'm done. I'm over it. I'm just going to go play this game because it's not a gas.
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, because Ubisoft has obviously come up in the last couple of years and said that's their goal, that they want to switch most of their games to a live as a service.
Skull and Bones, they just announced it's a gas now. It's not a multiplayer, single-player experience as Pirates, games as a service. So they're just going to milk it.
Yeah. I hope not. So this is my fear, man, is that, next Uncharted game is announced. It's a gas. Like next God of War game. It's a gas. It could be anything like that. I'm just like, oh.
Well, they can do it. They can do it for Forza.
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil. Like, where did that come from? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I know we sound a bit negative now. I still have hope for these games. I still hope they're going to be good and I can enjoy them. And I know plenty of other people are going to enjoy them. I mean, I'm not a Forza Motorsport fan anyway. I do play Horizon because it's arcadey and it's a bit of fun. I don't play the motorsport games. So maybe those fans will be happy for it to be as a service and they don't have to keep waiting 2-3 years to get another version. They can just constantly get content updates. That might make them happy. That might make them very happy that they're constantly getting their favorite game updated. I doubt we'll see stuff like FIFA and Madden. I doubt they'll just say FIFA and we'll just keep going with it. I think they make too much money selling copies of those sports titles. So it's interesting times. Hopefully it doesn't get oversaturated. But there's definitely, I think we're hedging towards 20 major titles being games as a service launching into next gen. So that's a lot.
I get it. It makes a lot of money and people feel invested. They stick to that game for 12 months, 18 months, rather than playing it for a few weeks and then putting it down when it's a single player game when they finished. I get that. again, just old man gamer thinking is, if you look behind me, like any of these games, I can pop into my console and they're going to work.
However you want.
Game of service 5 years from now, those servers are gone.
It's gone.
You won't be able to play those games anymore. Or if you invest a lot of money into that game and it doesn't take off, 6 months to a year later, those servers are dead. No one's playing.
Perfect example was Mag on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I was hyped to play that game and disappointed once I started playing it, but it died. It disappeared. Yeah. It wasn't good enough. People were like, "What? I've got to." So it was probably one of Sony's first attempts. It wasn't developed by Sony, but it was exclusive for the PlayStation.
I mean, Battleborn's probably the other one that people always think about, where they clearly spent millions making that, and they released it, and just within a matter of months, gone. Right? And people who did play it, they would have invested a lot of money into it. They would have invested a lot of time into it. So I think, that's my old man thinking. Is it's not forever. I can only play it for now.
Right? I'll play it forever. Yeah, and it's scary. It is. It's a bit scary.
Anyway. Well, what do you guys think? Are we just a bunch of grumpy old men and it doesn't matter? We should just enjoy it for now and not worry about it. And it's okay if there are all these microtransaction loot boxes, which we just find. All right. Let us know in the comments below. All right. Maybe you can educate us, bring us to the dark side. All right. Get us to enjoy gases.
Yeah. Explain to us why we should play these games. Because us old men, we don't understand. We just don't understand. Alrighty, guys. Take care.
Bye.